I think the thing that really got us going in the right path for us was that when we started up in June 1987, and just before we started, I managed to get some instructions from Greenpeace. That was a massively interesting case that we got involved in right as we were starting up, and there was quite a lot of media coverage about the case. It was kind of, for me, a first dawning realization that having a firm that was my own firm with Sarah, that we could take on these groundbreaking cases. We didn't have to go and report to a lot of jobs worths who were telling us not to do this, that, or the other. We could make our own decisions, and I loved it. And I felt, well, that's it. You know, what the firm is about is providing good quality service, but at the same time, looking to take on groundbreaking cases that that would mean that it was stimulating for us as lawyers and hopefully making a big difference in society.
So you talked about the Marmor case being a real turning point. Have there been any other sort of major turning points along the way, you know, in your journey as a founder?
Well, we had a period in the 1990s where I was starting doing a series of group claims, but they were tough cases, and we ended up losing. So about 4 or 5 cases on the trot. I remember the Times back in 2000, the year 2000, ran an article saying "King of the Losers" with a big picture of me, and it was true in a way. You know, we tried a variety of different cases, pressing the boundaries, and didn't succeed. But it was a massive learning curve for me, and in that year, we managed to succeed in bringing a claim on behalf of a few thousand former POWs of the Japanese, and we managed to get them each £10,000, and that was quite a turning point, because since then we've only lost 2 or 3 cases, and we've had a whole series of good cases that run. But that was a real turning point, as I say, from becoming king of the losers to king of the winners.
Yeah.
We were very clear from the word go about what Leigh Day was about, and I think when people come to us, they buy into the brand, they buy into the ethos of the place. Yeah, I can hardly remember anybody saying, "Look, I think this is wrong." You know, obviously there are nuances, and different people might, you know, slightly different. So we've got a Manchester office where they tend to be a little bit more commercial than we are in London, but that's fine. You know, you can live within the fact that within a brand that you will have, you know, a bit of variation.
If you were starting again, if you were setting up Leigh Day now, is there anything that you would do differently?
For a long period, almost no new firms set up in terms of the human rights world, because once legal aid had gone, it was almost impossible for lawyers to get the funding together to be able to take on the risks involved in setting up a firm. But the thing is different now. We're now starting to see a number of firms set up. We've got support from the funders. So I think in terms of your question, I think it would depend on the era that one was setting up. But if you're setting up now, I would be saying, well, look, take the risk, because actually, you know, there are funders out there who are interested in taking on the risk. And, you know, you've seen some pretty rapid growth, although it would make me nervous about growing too quickly. I think, you know, in the end, you're only as good as your team, and it often takes time to kind of work out who are the right people for, you know, the right thing. So, you know, I'd be wary about speed. You know, I always feel that, you know, the faster you grow, the quicker you can come back down that same route